Feel Good Inc. right here on 1FM 91.3. Good evening and welcome to the Escapade. Certainly hope you are feeling good. Thanks so much for joining us. And with me in the studio this evening, a very special guest in the form of Coach Shie Boon. Now, he is a parkour coach specializing in fall safety and agility training for seniors. Welcome to the studio, Shie Boon.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us about how you got involved in parkour for seniors. I mean, that's something that we usually think is associated with the young ones, you know, the running, the jumping, or your James Bond or Tom Cruise.
All right. So basically at the end of 2017, I met an elderly lady who was willing to try parkour. At the time, she was pushing a trolley wherever she went because she was afraid of falling. So I trained her for 2 months and she was able to walk without the trolley.
Oh my gosh. So she was using the trolley as a prop to keep her upright.
Yep.
Isn't it kind of dangerous because of the wheels? Like if you fall, you're going to just go flying forward anyway?
I have no idea.
But she doesn't need it now. That's the more important thing. All right, we're live on Facebook, by the way, at 1FM 91.3. If you have any questions for Shie Boon, please feel free to send them across via WhatsApp, 88550 But meanwhile, Shie Boon, when people hear the word parkour, they think of teenagers running and jumping around. How do you explain your version of parkour for people aged 50 to 70?
So basically, it's agility training. What is agility? How fast you can react. When seniors have falls that result in serious injuries, it's usually because they cannot react in time. Their legs are weak. They have loss of balance. Their arms are also not very strong. So when they try to take their fall with their hands, they will break something.
Correct.
So just a combination of that and just that alertness is not there. This training is just to improve all of this.
Okay. And what does a typical class look like?
When class starts, I basically break it up into 2 segments. The first segment is you strengthen your body. So I get my students to crawl on the floor like a bear.
Like Spider-Man?
Like Spider-Man. Yeah. So when you put your hands on the floor, you start to re-familiarize yourself with the floor, which many of us adults we don't do it unless you are very active and you do a lot of push-ups, and that's fine. But to put your hands on the ground and to crawl like an animal, you start to develop a sense of rawness in movement expression. And you start to become a bit more alive and human, not so robotic. I think a lot of modern fitness modalities make you very robotic. So parkour is a bit more fluid and raw. Think about our ancestors who lived in the jungle a long time ago. They had to climb trees. They had to swim. They had to run after animals. Not on nice concrete surfaces, flat, but in an environment where it's very chaotic and random. But they adapted and they did it for survival. And they're very, very fit people and very mobile. Whereas a lot of modern fitness modalities don't have all this diversity of stimulation to the body, so it makes us become very robotic.
Okay. It's kind of tiring, that crawling activity.
Super.
I mean, at the beginning, if you've not worked out for a while, I mean, I tried it once. I went to a class. They made us crawl just, like half the court, the badminton court. And I was naked by the time I got to the other side. I was just like, what is happening here? It's just crawling, right?
What class is that?
It was like a boxing class.
Oh, okay.
But they were just warming us up. And I'm like, wow, this warming up is really, making me nauseous because I hadn't even had breakfast and I was already tired. I'm like, what more is in store? Okay, now come join us live on Facebook at facebook.com/1FM913. And if you do have any questions for Shie Boon, feel free to send them across as well at 88550 on WhatsApp. Could be anything parkour related. If you have any questions, you're curious about this movement form. And for chiming in today, you also stand to win $150 worth of dining vouchers from Guo Fu Hot Pot. Get in touch. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Facebook Live. Thank you so much for joining us. We are talking with Coach Shie Boon from Movement SG. How long has this been around? I mean, have you been doing this for very long, Shie Boon?
So I've been teaching parkour to seniors for about 8.5 years.
What?
Since,
wow.
Since the end of 2017.
Okay. How is it that we're only just hearing about this? I mean, recently there were a lot of news outlets that picked this up. I think BBC picked it up, Daily Mail picked it up, Straits Times as well.
Yep.
And so I'm like, what? I thought this was just a new thing. 8.5 years.
Yes.
Okay. And it all began because this lady came and said that she wanted to be stronger.
Yes, exactly.
Do people come and ask you like, hey, I want to lose weight?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and does parkour actually help with that somehow?
I tell them that the purpose, that's not my goal. My goal is to get you stronger.
Could be in the future, weight loss parkour.
No.
Another vertical. Okay, so it's to be stronger. And typically, how old are your clients?
A lot of 60s. Coming right now, recently more 70s as well. And then some below 50s actually wanting to start early, which is good.
Right. Because I am 51 this year, I will not lie. But sometimes just the idea of getting out of bed already is tough. There was once I sprained my back just bending down to pick up a sock.
No.
Yeah. And I was just in shock, like how on earth did that happen? So do people come to you with like all these aches and pains? How would you kind of cater a class to help them out?
Yeah. So many of my students have all sorts of pains from their knees to their back to their shoulder. So the first thing I would tell them is just slow down and give it a try. Whatever that you do, just do it in slow motion. So I try to help them to ease the fear of even starting. And once they get started, they actually feel better. And then it's like a snowball effect. They just want to do more and more and more. So it's just the start that is the main hurdle.
Okay. Other people who just kind of come along and then they sit at the side and it's like, I watch first.
Yes, all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
And then they come back the next session and then they...
maybe not.
Okay. Maybe not. It's too much for me. So there's no pressure for them to actually take part. So if they feel like something is going to be a little bit too challenging, they can say no at any point.
Entirely optional.
Okay, that's comforting to know. All right, and what's your favorite part of the lesson actually?
When I see my students perspiring like crazy.
You know that you have worked hard and they have worked hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or when I see them being able to jump from one place to another when they were previously very scared of doing. And they were able to conquer that challenge.
Yeah, because some of these videos, like I said, I was mentioning to you earlier, there was this video that I saw online on Instagram. There was this lady in like her mid to late 60s. She was jumping from like one ledge to another ledge. And it was quite a distance. It was like maybe 1.5 meters or 1 meter or something like that. And I was thinking to myself, I don't think I can do that, because she had hopped and then she landed like and pushed herself up with her hands to jump over the other ledge, and I was just like, wow, that's impressive.
Yes.
You taught her that.
So I have
maybe she was a gymnast already.
I mean, I have a few students who have been with me for a long time, since the start of the program.
So 8 years?
8.5 years.
Oh, wow.
And they attend twice a week.
Okay.
Yeah. So these students are definitely, they are strong, they're fit, they are ready to move like 30-year-olds.
Okay.
And then I have some who come in with a very good foundation of fitness, and they improve very quickly as well. They pick up the skills very easily as well.
And then how do you challenge these people, like the ones that have been around for 8 years? How do you keep challenging them?
I treat them like 30-year-olds.
You do what I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Okay. Is there like a particular goal that you have for them, for these people who are already trained up?
Just keep pushing your limits. Yeah, keep being able to do more, be faster, be stronger, be more agile, more graceful, more in control. Oh yes, parkour is a very graceful discipline.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, that is definitely a good challenge to set, because you can just look like an ape jumping around.
Yeah, exactly.
But then learning to control those movements really does take some conscientious effort.
Yeah,
I do believe. Yeah.
When you see good practitioners practice, they are absolutely quiet in their movement.
Right. I never thought about parkour as being as having good form. Yeah, so now
Right,
that you've
right.
mentioned that, it like actually changes my concept of it, because I thought it was just being able to jump from one building to
Right.
another without falling through the gap and hurting yourself, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, we're just going to be jumping back live on air. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, if you have any questions, come WhatsApp us, 88550913 on WhatsApp. Shania Twain, that don't impress me much on 1FM 91.3. But if you see a 50, 60 or 70-year-old doing parkour, that would definitely impress you, I'm pretty sure. Now, Shie Boon has been in the news quite a lot lately, right, Shie Boon? Because you are from Movement SG, you've been teaching older adults the art of movement, the art of parkour. How would you describe in one word what parkour is again?
One word?
Yeah.
Monkey.
Or urban monkey, as you mentioned earlier. I call it zombie apocalypse training, because if you're being chased by a zombie, you gotta move, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Hey, we're live on Facebook as well, having a very interesting chat about the finer points of parkour, because it's not just about clearing one obstacle, it's about moving with grace and having good form as well. And that can actually elevate the whole parkour discipline, so to speak. Now, we're getting some inquiries from our listeners, and we have one here from Hui Li who says, "Hi Shie Boon, you often say movement can change lives. Has there ever been a student who thought you were teaching them parkour but ended up teaching you something even more important about aging, courage, or life?"
Oh,
that's cheap.
such a good question.
Wow, deep, huh?
I mean, I'm constantly inspired by my students because they come with such courage at their age. So they are embodiment of the never say die spirit, right? They can be in their late 70s and they still are open to trying new things, open to face their fears, and to take a tiny step towards a sense of freedom and control and power. Yeah, so I'm constantly inspired by them.
Would you say that's a necessary attitude you need to have when coming for your classes? Like if you were constantly afraid to try things and you turn up, it's like...
Yeah. I mean, yesterday I was giving a workshop at NAFA about fall safety. And then right before the workshop started, there was this guy just like cautioning everybody about how they shouldn't be doing this workshop and how, because there's no insurance coverage and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
Then I'm like, yeah, so it's like you after a while you start to know who have the affinity with what you have to share and who doesn't. So yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a voluntary class, right?
Yes,
so
it
no
is,
one's being forced to attend or forced to do the movements. Because I think earlier on you mentioned that if they're not comfortable with a certain movement or action, it's okay for them to sit out or to do a simpler form of the movement, right?
Yep.
Joanna wants to know about people with hip replacements, suitable to do parkour at that age, because she's had one for 4 years and she's been doing spinning and Pilates.
With
hip replacements. Yeah, she went NTUC, bought a new hip.
Okay, so I usually tell people if you can still walk, you can come and learn. That's the base requirement. If you can, still walk to do your daily stuff, no problem.
Okay.
No problem.
So I'm sure you've got like people keeping an eye out on all the participants as well, making sure that they're not doing things they shouldn't be doing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because what if someone is monkeying around, while you're training or you're teaching or instructing, and then they're just like, I'm going to do it anyway. Would you actually step in and intervene?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
People are already wanting your contact because they're like, where are the trainings for parkour help?
Yeah.
How old to start?
Movement.sg.
Okay, movement.sg.
That's the
where
website.
That's where Shie Boon is from. That's your company.
My company. Yeah.
Okay, and classes start from $35.
$35.
For how long?
1.5 hours.
Okay. Wow. All right. So David is going for the elderly. It's often said that once they fall down, we have to watch them carefully. So how do you teach them to prevent these falls if possible, especially for those who have been pretty sedentary for much of their adult life?
Okay. So good question. Let me just a very short story about how when young children learn to use their chopsticks, right, for the first time, they're going to struggle with it. But the more they use it, the more they get familiar with it, eventually they can. You can't hand a child a spoon and expect the child to learn how to use the chopsticks after using a spoon. To learn how to fall, you need to fall. with control again and again and again in order to develop the instinct. So what in my classes, what I do is I give my students a lot of scenarios that help them develop these instincts. I get them to fall again and again and again.
That sounds painful.
Yes, but I get them to fall within their own control. So they make themselves fall in a controlled fashion.
Right.
But they learn how to form the ball shape. They learn how to use the fleshy parts of their body. They learn how to protect their head. They learn how to take their weight with their hands. So all of that all comes with just building up that habit. Even if you cannot mitigate like 100% of the damage during a real fall, at least you can shave off like maybe half, and that can be life-saving.
Yeah.
My students have told me that like some of them when they go to Jeju Island and they ride a bicycle and the bicycle flipped and she managed to roll out of it and she's safe, completely safe.
Because she learned how to break her fall.
I believe so. Yeah.
Wow, that's
and
amazing.
There are multiple stories of this. So it works. But even if the break falling doesn't work, right? Even let's say if like all this is just like nonsense and bullshit, it doesn't work at all. But at least they strengthen their bodies.
Yeah.
When you strengthen your body, you have better, you have stronger muscles. You can take your fall better.
Yeah.
You have stronger bones because of your stronger muscles, especially for females, right? So that's already your first line of defense.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's true. I mean, also in older age, they tell us about the importance of weights. And so your own body weight, learning how to manage that and deal with that can also be very instrumental in promoting health, right?
Definitely.
And agility. All right. Thank you so much. We got more questions coming along. Are you okay to answer some of these
Go ahead.
questions?
Yep.
All right. But first, here's a song for you, Shie Boon. It is Survivor and Eye of the Tiger.
Nice song.
1FM 91.3, Good Times, Greatest Hits. Good evening and welcome to the Escapade. It's Carol with you, and thank you so much for joining us live on Facebook. We have questions from Joanna. Actually, she asked this question earlier about people in their 40s and 50s with hip replacement. So we've actually answered that one already. And then we also had Chelsea asking, what are the benefits of learning parkour? I mean, besides the benefits for the physical, how does it improve mental and your mental and emotional aspects?
Okay, good question. Mental aspect. So let's say, okay, take the gym environment. You go to the gym, you sit on a machine, you hold the whatever things that need to be held, and then you push, right?
Yeah.
Or you're not thinking. But in parkour, I'm going to ask you to climb over that wall, and I'm going to ask you to figure it out yourself.
Ooh.
Go through that hole, climb over the wall, jump off this thing, do it safely. And a large part of a large part of this practice comes from bring your being into whatever problem you're trying to solve. So I get my students to just think for themselves, so they develop that instinct of problem solving.
Yeah.
So that definitely works the mental side of stuff. Yeah, we also form like really long sequences of movements, so they have to remember.
Oh my gosh,
steps.
it's like a dance.
Like a dance, yeah, but
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
more intense.
Okay.
Stamina.
Yeah.
And a lot of reaction training, because sometimes people make mistakes, right? So when you think fast, act fast, you work your mind. That's for sure. Yeah. Social aspect. My students are all lovely people. You're definitely gonna be in good company.
Someone says, Victor says, hi Shie Boon, thanks for doing what you're doing. You've helped so many seniors take steps they once thought were impossible. Years from now, when they may no longer remember every exercise you taught them, what do you hope they'll still remember about how you made them feel?
Wow. First of all, thank you, Victor. A sense of hope for life, I guess. Like when everything is very, very dark and dim, you still see the light at the end of the tunnel, that feeling. Yeah, I think parkour, at least, in my class, there's always that sense of striving towards the light at the end of the tunnel, striving towards hope for living a good life.
Wow, that's amazing. And everyone should be, I think that sense of hope is so important,
Indeed.
especially here in Singapore and with the elderly. And a simple thing like coming to your class and seeing what they can do can definitely build a sense of resilience, confidence, and hope. So that is so true. I'm so glad that Victor actually sent that message through. All right, we're just going to be jumping back live on air and wrapping up our interview. So hang tight. What an appropriate song for this evening with my guest, Shie Boon from Movement SG, and he is a parkour coach specializing in parkour for older adults aged between 50 and 70. You might have come across an Instagram reel or social media reel of Shie Boon and some of his participants in action. Definitely very interesting stuff. I am looking at some of them and I feel like I don't think I can do what they're doing, Shie Boon. And I'm 51. You know, I used to be quite active, but sometimes when you take a step back from physical activity, you start to lose that confidence in your body, you know. So Victor earlier on got in touch via WhatsApp to say, thank you, Shie Boon, for doing what you're doing. You've helped so many seniors take steps they once thought were impossible. So I want to give you some claps for that, actually. Good stuff. What's the oldest person you've had in your classes and what do they manage to do?
83.
83?
Yeah, climb walls, go through tight spaces, jumps, rolls, all sorts of stuff that you would see like a young boy doing.
Wow, and did they start off that way? Did they come already quite fit?
I wouldn't say so. Definitely, it took a bit of time to build up that physical confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there a psychological benefit to learning something that feels a little adventurous or even slightly scary?
Oh, for sure. My personal belief is that you need to have a constant dose of healthy feel in your life. Otherwise, you will never feel alive or you never feel like you are achieving things. Yeah.
Okay. And if someone who is like 60 and tuned in right now, wow, this sounds fun, but I'm definitely not a parkour person, what would you say to them?
Sure, go do something else.
You're not here to force them into something they don't want to do, right? So
For
you gotta
sure.
have that interest, that desire to want to do something a little bit out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I think
for
that's
sure.
when you feel alive, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, so true. All right, so where can people join your classes? How to join your classes? How much are your classes one more time?
Just head to my website, movement.sg. There's a WhatsApp button. You can reach me directly from there. There are a lot of information on the website as well.
Okay.
That's the first place to start.
All right. Last question from Annie. What are the protective gears recommended? Do you need like elbow shin guards, the helmet?
For newcomers, I recommend long sleeve.
Okay.
Long sleeve, long pants, comfortable sports shoes, and gloves if you have.
Gloves even.
Gloves,
Okay,
yeah.
very cool. Well, Shie Boon, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been so insightful and so enlightening, knowing that, age shouldn't be a factor in slowing you down and having control of your body. And of course, aside from that, we also learn to break our falls and just live a stronger, healthier life as well. So thank you for joining us this evening and all the best. Maybe I'll see you in one of your classes very soon.
Yes, thank you.
1FM 91.3.
Thank you for joining us on Facebook. We will see you at movement.sg.
Yes.